Welcome back to FafNir Guide. Today I'm gonna guide you on how to play Prankets, especially with the new addition of the adventure, or some people call it Brave token, that released on the new selection pack in masterduel. I know that this is too late, but I've watched other YouTubers Prankets guide and I've found out most of them are just a convenient guide on how to do this combo and that combo. But on this guide, we're gonna dive further into the power of Prankets that I'm sure a lot of people didn't know of how strong this archetype is. Even in TCG, if you don't know, Konami has to ban Meow Meow Moo. Ban, not limited, ban. This Ling 1 monster as the starters of this deck has to be banned in order to kill this deck so people can move on to other archetypes. And here's the deck list that I use in this guide. So I'm gonna start with the cards explanation a little bit so new player can at least understand what's going on with this deck. All you need to know that main deck Prankets monster, if it's used as a material to link or fusion summon Prankets monster and send to the graveyard, it will trigger its effect to summon another Prankets monster other than the triggered Prankets monster. There are only 4 main deck Prankets monster: fansies, dropsies, lampsies, and rocksies. Rocksies has to be limited to 2 because of the Emancipator archetype they're using that card on this deck. I've seen people are rarely using it now in masterduel, but this limited 2 rocksies doesn't affect Prankets at all. We actually want rocksies to be 2 off because we prefer not to draw rocksies at all. The spell and traps are Place, Pranks, Plan, and the last one is Pandemonium. Place is a field card that will search any Prankets monster from deck. Pranks is work as the deck reloader, so we will not running out of resources. Pandemonium is the quick play fusion summon card that you can fusion any Prankets monster in your opponent's turn. And lastly, the Plan. Oh, this card. Some people in masterduel Discord is actually bullying me because this card is unusable in Prankets. Well, we're gonna see. And the next one is the Adventurer engine. I don't think I need to explain this engine because, well, everyone already using it in their deck. The most optimal cards that you can bring are 2 enchantress, 2 aramesir, 1 gryphon, 1 dracoback, and 1 fatefull adventure. Note that if you can only afford 1 enchantress and 1 aramesir, because they are UR, it's fine. Bring 3 fatefull adventurer is already good enough. Because adventurer engine in this deck has other purpose besides summoning an omni-negate monster or bouncing cards back to the hand. I'm gonna explain about it later. And if you notice, I have a polymerization in this deck that a lot of people didn't using it in their deck. Instead, they add in DPE engine. If you want to bring DPE, go ahead. It will reduce the consistency though, but you do you. You watch this guide not to see somebody to summon a DPE using Prankets monster, right? So just take it out, you don't need that. And you see I also bring 1 dimension shifter. It's not because I want to use it, but for crossout. Even though I have Called by the Grave, but sometimes it's not enough. If Dimension Shifter resolve, Prankets is a dead deck for 1 turn. Or maybe 2 turns as well. If you remember, Prankets needed to send to the graveyard to trigger their effects. If it's banished or goes somewhere else, it will not be triggered even though used as a fusion or link summoning. And also I bring these 2 exits monster and you're gonna see how awesome they are in the Prankets. Let's dive into the combo section. We're gonna start with the basic combo of Prankets. A lot of people say that Prankets basic combo is a 1 card combo. No, it's not. It's a 1.5 card combo. Do you know what it means? Means it needs 1 Prankets monster plus 1 random card as a cost to continue your combo. Without that cost, you're done. It will be your end phase. So please keep in mind It's a 1.5 card combo. Let's not include the adventure engine that requires to discard another card from your hand, just for that engine. So if the duel keeps dragging for a longer time, it's lowering your chance of winning because your hand will be empty at some point. We start with a 1.5 card in our hands. Imagine that Gryphon is our random cards in the hand for our cost later on. Summon dropsies, link it to meow meow moo, and dropsies sent to graveyard will trigger its effect to summon other trinkets from deck. In here, as the second trinkets monster, I suggest to summon fansies. Whatever the starter is, fansies always be the second trinkets to be summoned. Why? Fansies will work as our key to the Failsafe combo. Yeah, it's weird I call it Failsafe because we are playing against another player in rank, not against an AI. So most of the time, everything will not always goes as planned. That's why we need backup plan. That's the reason I call it Failsafe. I will explain about that later on. Let's continue. We link those two to dodo doodle do. And two effects will be triggered. Must always to select fansies first as the chain link 1 and dodo as the chain link 2. This will cause a chain block because fansies effect is more important than dodo. Doodle do will let us to search pandemonium and fansies will send pranks to the graveyard and summon other prankets which need to be different than the other two prankets in graveyard. So we're gonna summon lampsies. Why not rocksies? Rocksies must be the last prankets that you want to summon. From here, activate pandemonium, push and summon those two to rocket right, activate lampsies, chain block by rocket right. Don't forget the chain block, it's important. Lampsies will summon the last prankets, which is rocksies. Activate rocket right, tribute it, and summon two prankets from graveyard. You must summon dodo doodle do and another prankets monster. Doesn't matter what they are. And then activate dodo effect, tribute it, and grab pandemonium and pranks from graveyard to your hand. Then link those two to Bagooska. Rocksies will activate this effect by banishing one card from your hand, and then summon another prankets from deck. In here, I prefer fansies since it has the highest defense amongst other prankets monster. Activate pranks and set pandemonium. Your first turn combo is done. And now in your opponent's draw phase, I prefer to activate Boa Bark as soon as possible. Don't use meow moo effect, just click now and tribute it and grab the two prankets monster that are different than the one on the field. In this case, lampsies and dropsies. So in the main phase, you can activate Pandemonium and summon Butler. the boss monster of this deck that can do a Raigeki quick effect. We're not finished yet. Those 3 trinkets will have its effect triggered. You can choose which one you want to trigger first, but the rule is channeling 3 monster, summon channeling 1 monster. And then channeling 2 monster, summon channeling 3 monster. And then lastly, channeling 1 monster, summon a channeling 2 monster. That's the proper way to summon them all at once. Sometimes, I make a mistake that I summon 2 same trinkets at the same time. I suggest to do that to manage your resources. I often leave out of trinkets monster to summon from that, so be careful. The next combo is actually similar to the basic combo, but it's the true 1 card combo. Let's say you want to keep all of these 4 cards in your hand. Summon dropsies. Then to meow. Summon fansies. Remember, Failsafe. Link to dodo do. Chain blocking. Grab pandemonium. And here's the different part. Instead of sending pranks, we send plan to graveyard. You will see why. Summon lampsies. Activate pandemonium. Push into rocket ride. Chain blocking. Instead of summon rocksies, summon either fansies or dropsies. So I choose fansies. Tribute rocket ride. Summon doodle and other trinkets monster. Activate doodle. Since we don't have pranks, we're gonna grab any prank kits and pandemonium from graveyard. And link those 2 to Bawa Bark. Set pandemonium. Next turn, tribute Bawa Bark. Grab the other 2 trinkets that are different than the one you have in hand. And yeah, you can summon Butler anytime you want. We're not finished yet. I'm gonna show you the reason we send plan to the graveyard. When your opponents declare an attack, plan in graveyard will trigger its effect, banish it, and return any number of trinkets card from graveyard to the deck. Since we already sent prank by Francis effect, I'd like to keep it in the graveyard. And same goes for meow. The attacking monster will have its attack reduced by 100 times of total trinkets card returned from graveyard to the deck. Now that's the reason why I bring plan, is to reload your resources back. The next combo is a more advanced one for prank kits. It's a 2.5 card combo. Yeah, it's 2.5. We need 2 different prank kits monster. Remember, has to be different, and 1 random card as a cost for combo. Start by summoning lampsies. Link to meow. Lampsies will summon another prank kits. We need to summon prank kits that are different than the one in hand and graveyard. So we summon dropsies. If you think your opponents are holding a hand trap like Veiler or imperm, I suggest go back to the basic combo to keep it failsafe. Link those 2 to dodo. Grab pandemonium, and dropsies will summon another prank kits, and this one must be the other prank kits that are not in hand and graveyard. Which is rocksies. And then activate pandemonium to summon rocket ride using the rocksies and the fansies from a hand. Rocksies will banish 1 card from your hand to summon other prank kits, and fansies will also do the same thing, but I prefer to send plan instead of pranks, since we will not grab prank from graveyard. But if you do have the 3rd prank kits in your hand, you can send pranks instead. Summon another prank kits from deck. Link those 2 to Bagooska. And then link doodle and Bagooska to roaster, our quick effect Harpy Feather Duster. And then activate Rocket Ride, summon both Bagooska and doodle back to the field. Then activate Doodle effects to grab Pandemonium and other prank kits besides Rocksies. Send Pandemonium and we're done. Next turn, you'll have both Butler and Roaster on your board. What could be better than having both Raigeki and Duster at the same time? Now we're gonna start with the Adventure Prankets combo, the one that you have been waiting for. Basically, it's just a Prankets combo with extra steps. In here, we're gonna start with 3 cards actually. The other card will be there soon, I promise. So, banish Enchantress. Grab Aramesir. Activate Aramesir. Summon the token. And activate Fatefull Adventurer directly from that. From here, we can start do the Prankets combo. Summon dropsies, link them to meow. And here is the purpose of the Adventure engine in this deck, is to allow us to chain block our first Prankets effect with the Fatefull Adventure, so the Prankets combo will still continue. Even though your opponent have S Blossom, they will only negate the Fatefull Adventure, not the Prankets monster. Equip Dracoback to token and summon fansies as the failsafe. Before we continue Prankets combo, it's better we finish the adventure engine first. Activate Fatefull, grab Gryphon, and special summon it. With this, when we summon Duel, it will be protected from hand trap by Gryphon Omni Negate. And yeah, we're done with the adventure engine and you can just continue the Prankets combo. You can use any combo that I showed before in this adventure engine. Next, I'm gonna show you the failsafe combo. Is it weird if I call it failsafe? So there are 3 total of failsafe combo, and here's the failsafe one. As you can see, we're back to the basic combo situation here. Fansies and meow. Link those two to doodle. The effects will be triggered. Fansies as chain 1, doodle as chain 2. Always. Let's say doodle got negated by Ash Blossom. And you don't have any anti-hand traps in your hand. Then use fansies to send pandemonium to the graveyard instead. And summon the third Prankets, which is dropsies in here. Activate doodle, grab another Prankets and pandemonium, activate pandemonium, push into rocket ride using dropsies on field and the other Prankets from hand. Dropsies will summon rocksies. And activate rocket ride. Summon back doodle and any Prankets from graveyard. And link force summon all of them to the rooster. And there you have a quick effect Harpify the Duster through 1 the gate. Failsafe number 2. Same like previous one, but they are a bit different. It requires Verte Anaconda, and Thunder Dragon Fusion. Here we're back to the same situation like before. Link them to doodle, chain blocking, and as soon doodle get negated, the chain link one of fansies send the other Prankets monster that needed to fusion Butler. In here, I send lampsies because we already have fansies and dropsies in the graveyard. And special summon any Prankets you want, it doesn't matter. And link them to Verte Anaconda. Activate Anaconda's second effect. Fusion summon using Thunder Dragon Fusion from your deck by returning the material from graveyard to the deck. And fusion summon Butler. With this, you can still keep Butler on the field, it's just it's not protected by Bark indestructible effects. Failsafe number 3. It's a 2.5 card combo. Requires 1 Prankets plus 1 Polymer plus 1 random card. In here, if doodle do get negated by imperm or veiler, which will negate it until the end turn, you can relink them again to another doodle do. And activate its effect. Grab Pandemonium and 1 other trinkets to hand. Fusion summon using Poly with both trinkets from hand and on field to rocket ride. Activate the rocket ride and you're gonna have 3 trinkets on the field. Link 2 of them to Bawa Bark. And set Pandemonium. And you're back to the basic combo and board without Franks. Those are the failsafe combo that you're gonna need in high rank duels because things will always go sideways there. The next 2 combo is a bit advanced. It's actually a 2.5 card combo. This combo is the reason why I add in polymerization to the deck. It requires 1 trinkets, plus 1 polymer, plus 1 random card as a cost. I call this combo Toadally Awesome Combo. It started with the same route like the basic combo, but in here, instead we fusion summon, we activate Doodle Do to grab any trinkets and actually supposedly pranks because I already have it in hand. And then instead of using the Pandemonium, we use the Poly to fusion the 2 trinkets to rocket ride. Activate rocket ride, and here we must summon the dropsies and 1 other random trinkets from graveyard. And then link the trinkets other than the dropsies to Bawa Bark. So we need to keep the dropsies on the field. And rocksies will summon another trinkets, and in here we must summon dropsies again. So there will be 2 dropsies on the field. Since we were not using Pandemonium this turn, we are not locked to special summon trinkets monsters only. So we can exit summon Totally Awesome using both dropsies. And then set the Pandemonium. And we're done. With this, we got an Omni Negate on our board. Imagine, we also do this with Adventure Engine. We will got 2 Omni Negate on the board and 1 Bouncer. In the next turn, activate Bark to grab the trinkets that are not dropsies, which is lampsies and fansies. With this, we need the dropsies to fusion summon to Butler, but dropsies is still inside Toadally Awesome. So, you're gonna have to negate something with Toadally Awesome. When Toadally negate, you can steal the card that you negate and set it on the field. Imagine you negating an imperm. You will steal that imperm from them. When Toadally Awesome sent to graveyard, it activates its effect to grab a water monster from graveyard. In this case, we must grab dropsies back to hand, so we can fusion summon them to Butler. The last combo that I want to show is actually almost same like the Toadally Awesome, but instead we use Toad, we use Elephant. It's called the Bagooska combo. It requires the same hand composition like before. It started the same like before, but when we're activating Duel, we must grab 2 Prankets monster, so we're not grabbing pranks at all. So I suggest when fansies activates in graveyard, it's better to send plan instead of pranks because we're not going to grabbing pranks at all. And in this combo, we must summon rocksies as the 3rd Prankets monster. Use both rocksies and any Prankets from hand to rocket right using Poly. And then Rocksies will summon the last Prankets that are not in the hand or graveyard, which is lampsies. Activate Rocket Ride, and we must summon Rocksies and 1 other Prankets back to the field. And here we'll link the 2 Prankets other than the Rocksies to Bark. Lampsies will activate its effect and must summon the 2nd Rocksies from the deck. So we can exit summon both of them to rank 4 exits Bagooska. And don't forget to summon it in defense position. Actually, you can go with any generic rank 4 exist monster here. Bagooska will turn any monster on the field to defense position and have their effects negated just like skill drain. So it will make your opponents prioritizing to remove Bagooska as soon as possible. And if they manage to do that, you still have Butler that are indestructible by card effects, and don't forget, you still have plan in your graveyard to reload your resources again. That's all for the combo section in this guide, and actually, I don't have any tips and tricks for this guide, but I can highlight some of the usable card effects that we possess in this deck that you might not know it will helping in the middle of dueling. Bark. As you know, if it activates its effect, it will protect all of your Prankets monster this turn from destroying effect. A lot of players don't know that, so if they activate something that destroy your Prankets, then do not respond. Unless it's a removal effect other than destroying. Weather Wasser. It's also not a bad fusion summon. Usually I use it when things go sideways. If successfully activate Bawabar, but then you realize Battle Butler is not enough and you are about to be beaten down, you can use Pandemonium to summon Weather Wasser and activate its effect to resummon the 2 Prankits used for fusion summon. Those 2 Prankits will be protected from battle by Weather Wasser effects and indestructible by Bawa Bark. So you basically have a big wall that protect you in the battle phase. Foolish Burial can be used to send Enchantress. If you don't know, Enchantress can activate herself in graveyard to search right of aramesir, just like from your hand. Foolish Burial is basically your 3rd water Enchantress. Pranks can also be used to summon token by discarding any Prankits card, including your plan if you are quote-unquote luckily draw it. I suggest don't effort to set plan on the field. It's best to be discarded to graveyard. Plays have a secondary effect that you can use as a chain blocking when going second as well. If your opponents have Omni Negate and want your Prankits effect resolve, you can chain blocking your Prankits with plays whenever a fusion summon or link summon Prankits monster. Secondary effects has 2 different effects, depends on you fusion summoning or link summoning Prankits monster. If you are fusion summoning, it will increase all of your currently controlled monster attack points by 500. If you link summoning, it will reduce all of your opponent's currently controlled monster attack points by 500. Meow. This card is what makes Prankits special among other archetypes. It can make one of your Battle Battler or Roaster to activate their effects twice in a turn. That's all for the guide for this deck. I'm gonna make another video for task hand and combo for this deck. Thanks for watching and see you later in the next FafNir guide.